Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin-Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Hey.
I've never even thought of that till we're 9 months into this, doing it at 2 o'clock.
Got to get Jeremy back.
We got to get Jeremy back in here, the man with the golden voice, get him in here to re-record. This is no longer the virtual power lunch.
Yeah,
it's the Business Boys at 2.
Yeah,
so
there we go. Hey, fair's happening this week.
It is.
We talked about it last week. Yeah, and so good times.
You're going to Andy Grammer.
I'm going to Andy Grammer. Anybody that hasn't been there, you should go buy tickets. I've been to his show before. Super positive,
I've heard
cool music.
Absolutely great things about it. And I'm going to Cole Swindell. I'm the country pumpkin of the two. So. So you go get that new age stuff, and I'll go get my country pumpkin stuff. So,
there you go.
So, and then Fluffy, of course, the night before, on Thursday night, we gave away the tickets last week, and the girl, and I can prove that she legitimately won them, and she is just off the charts excited for the Fluffy show next week. So
good times.
So I went to a great person there, but Gary Stewart, what a rock star!
Yeah,
literally a rock star.
Yeah, he's been in a band, right?
Been in a band, and now I saw pictures of him posted last night. He's on a Learjet flying to Denver. The guy has quite the life, but he is. I can tell you, the next 10 days, starting on Thursday, Friday of this week, he was telling us after the show that, he's got a range for 30 to 50 different band members, and they're all flying in at different times at different airports, and he's got to get all those people to the fair and accommodate them while they're in the fair all the way till they get on the airplane again.
No, it's and then it starts over again. I think he says, we take about a week off, and then we start planning for free. So it's a big deal. You went over and saw his offices. They're cool, right?
He took me for a ride in his Maserati. I went outside and saw his ride. And
you don't seem to care so much when you're in my 67 Bug, but a Maserati, you're
dude,
like,
I was all over that. His license plate.
Cooler.
I'm going to give it away, his license plate, because it's in the old song. My Maserati does
185.
185. Yeah. So if you see a Maserati that says does 185,
there you go.
Tell him we said hi. It's Gary Stewart. So anyway, the guy is just a stud, and what a business IE Productions is.
Yeah, they're doing great things, and they were able to pivot, and they were able to take care of employees.
Yep.
Just great job.
Yep, so. Just absolutely good. And I went over to their office after the show and just blown away with what they built there and where they're going, and to see them what they built. It's just absolutely amazing. So that's absolutely great. Let's talk about our sponsors, and then we'll get into some of the classes that we're.
Yeah, well, we have, of course, BBSI has been with us from the beginning.
Yep.
Jeremy Hicks and that group do great things. If you have any sort of HR needs, if you're looking for payroll needs, if you're looking for accounting, if you're looking for trainings, if you're looking to exit your business, this is a group of men and women that really are.
There's not a day goes by that BBSI doesn't come up because of the work they're doing. At the end of the show, we're going to show kind of an ad that talks about exactly what their services are that they do. But BBSI is great. Volpine Marketing keeps us up to date on our website every week. New Line Media, we're in the studio. Got the beautiful green screen behind us. If you look on the screen, it's the Falls, Idaho Falls, since we're talking about Idaho Falls today. So, great. If you need any videography work, highly recommend New Line Media. They do a great job producing our show and some of the other things. You got to check them out on Facebook, New Line Media. And of course, the SBDC and the Idaho Innovation Center. So couldn't do it without them.
Yep. Thank you, sponsors.
That's right. So let's talk about some of the classes we have coming up. We're just starting into our fall lineup of classes. We have 3 classes. QuickBooks starts in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow on the 14th.
You still got spots in that one?
We do. We still.
Okay.
I know you wanting to
I
get
need
into
to
that.
get signed up
We've
for
still
that.
got a
I'm glad
couple
you
spots
mentioned that
left
today.
on it. That's phenomenal. The instructor is a CFO for hire. He's taught the class for 2 or 3 years. Absolutely, you don't get a better instructor than what we have in our QuickBooks program. Digital marketing. One of our sponsors, Volpine Marketing, is teaching that class. It runs in October. So QuickBooks is September. Digital marketing in October, and systemizing sales for success. And I cannot tell you, every business should be attending that class. If you sell a product or a service, you need to be in that class.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to sell more in your business, that's the class to be to. And it's the most under attended class for what the results of people get out of that class. It is just amazing. And once again, he works at BBSI. Jared does a phenomenal job with that class. So it's that's happening in November. And then we get to take a little of a break in December.
Hey.
And we start things up. And I just went and set the whole curriculum for next year yesterday. And it is exciting, some of the things that we're going to be doing with trainings next year. We're going to add some. We're going to tweak some. We're going to just do some great things with the classes in 2023. We've already got them in the works. And we're excited for 2023. So I'm excited about Idaho Falls.
Hey.
Idaho Falls Magazine.
You just stole this. It had, I think you were supposed to, no, it's free,
I don't
right?
think so. It's a free magazine.
walked
Don't
out
make
with
me
it.
feel like I should go to jail. Idaho Falls is just doing some great things. We got Mayor Casper leading us. And today we have their new hire that's been with them for 4 or 5 months with the City of Idaho Falls Economic Development. We're going to be learning all about some things that are happening here in our great city. Look at those great falls.
Yeah, I walk it on a regular basis.
That's the reason right there why hundreds and thousands of people are moving to our area.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a great attraction there.
Yeah.
What a great picture that is. So, but we're going to be talking to Christian Ashcraft, Economic Development with the City of Idaho Falls. We're excited to have him. We've got a great training at the end of the show. So stick with us till the end of the show, and we will be talking about does your business need a business coach?
Yeah.
So let's crack right into this. Let's watch this quick 2-minute video on the City of Idaho Falls.
No question. It's full of limitless possibilities. But it all started about 150 years ago when an entrepreneur built a bridge across a river. And things have been interesting ever since. We have people who come here because they need medical care. We have people from a 3-state region who come here because they want good shopping. We have people who come here from a 3 or 4-state region because of the entertainment. There are so many things I love about Idaho Falls, but one of my favorite things is that Idaho Falls is a city of leaders. We lead the way when it comes to innovation. We lead the way when it comes to civic involvement. We lead the way when it comes to doing all the things that make a community very special.
The infrastructure is key. If businesses want to develop or grow in the city of Idaho Falls, they need to make sure the infrastructure works. So we have our own fiber optics, we have our own water, sewer, sanitation. Many cities have to hire this out. We are totally self-sufficient in this regard.
If I had to use a single word to describe Idaho Falls and living here, I would say it's unexpected. The amount of innovation, science and technology, the entrepreneurship that happens in this part of the state and especially around Idaho Falls is so exciting. The Idaho National Lab and other businesses related really bring in such a caliber of people and jobs and positions that you wouldn't think you would find those kinds of jobs and opportunities and businesses in a community of this size.
So Idaho Falls is the type of place where If you are stuck on the side of the road, it's not if someone's going to stop and help you, it is how many people are going to stop and help you. You're hard pressed to go down around the Greenbelt and not have someone smile and wave at you and hear kids laughing and playing on the bridges. It's a great place to live and raise your kids and your family. It's a safe place to live.
I love Idaho Falls because we have a historic downtown that I think a lot of people would be surprised to find. Local merchants, coffee houses, local bars, we even have a pub. All sorts of these unique experiences can be found downtown.
I love Idaho Falls because it's a safe place to live and work. And it's a simple life. It is full of people that care about each other and will give you the shirt off their back if they need to. That's something you can't take lightly, and it's not something I think that you see in other places in the country.
Wow.
A lot going on.
There is. That's a great video. And Christian was just telling us that it's got a few people in there that are maybe a little bit dated, but that's a couple year old, but they're in the process of getting a new one updated. Is that right? Very good. Christian Ashcraft here. He's give me the official title of what yours.
Yeah, so the official title is Economic Development Administrator. And I am the second person in this position. It existed for about 7 years. And so it's still kind of in its infancy as far as a role for the city of Idaho Falls. And so there's still kind of some areas where it's a little ambiguous in trying to figure out what the role is, but that's part of what I like about it.
Very good. Well, I will open it up and say, Christian, so his predecessor, Dana Briggs, was on my board. She was chairman of board, so I worked almost daily with her. And when she came in and she said, "Hey, this guy's just graduated from BYU. I think he had masters out of that." And I'm like, this guy's not going to know anything. I literally called you out.
Yeah.
and then Christian came in and met with me, and by the second meeting, I'm like, okay, this guy has it going on. He knows his stuff. I'm excited. And then 2 months later, we voted you onto our board. So I have to say, I'm excited to really work with you, and I believe in you, and I know that what you're doing is very validated. So give us a scope of what your position all entitles, what it does.
Yeah, so that is a very good question. Probably still one I'm trying to figure out, honestly, because economic development technically touches everything in the economy, every exchange of value. And so that's a lot of things. And so really, Idaho Falls, and part of what I've been doing is trying to figure out, well, what are the priorities and really the big things that we want to focus on that's going to deliver the most value for the amount of resources that we can put into it, because all the resources come from taxpayers, and we really want to be conscious about using those resources efficiently. And so some of the maybe what people might think of as traditional economic development, some of what I do on a regular day-to-day basis, is respond to questions from either current businesses in the city of Idaho Falls or business prospects who are looking maybe to find a space here. They might ask, well, are there any parcels of this size that you can help me find? These are our needs in terms of utilities. Can you kind of help us navigate this this landscape here, and also introduce us to people within the city of Idaho Falls that we need to talk to, send us information that we need? That's kind of one of the very common things that most economic development entities for cities do. And then other than that, I'm kind of assisting the mayor in whatever economic priorities they see. For example, workforce right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to be a big topic here.
That is. And we're seeing some things happening, right? They're trying to put together some centers, and you kind of talked about it, doing some studies, but there's all these companies out there still looking for people to come to work, and the work is still available. And I think our area, unemployment rate's pretty low too. So you're battling all this. So what's the magic wand to fix the problem?
Well, yeah, I don't think there is a magic wand. It's kind of a complex problem. So probably the best thing is to try multiple ways and really working together to find out what works the best and adjusting as we learn. And so that facility you mentioned, that we're kind of establishing a new center to be able to train people, especially with kind of like heavy machinery and those kinds of operating skills. That's one thing. That's one resource that's going to be huge in trying to create that pipeline of that talented workforce that we really need for the industries that we have here in Idaho Falls.
So has it officially been announced that that building's going to be for that purpose? Has it been officially, or you?
There is an announcement that's coming. I don't think it's a hidden
I
secret.
can tell you
Yeah,
that there's a phenomenal building that that I've had the privilege of working with the last couple of years. That we're handing it over to the college, and it's going to be a big thing here in the valley to have a place to do these kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So. And it's also just going to help push that effort. I mean, we already have kind of an apprenticeship program that sometimes companies can access certain resources through College of Eastern Idaho and train people in their own facility on the job. And that's kind of all part of this ecosystem of training that workforce to get these skills that we need. And that'll be a huge help.
If it wasn't announced, I just announced it, I guess.
I think it's kind of out there, but yeah, they do have an open house even coming up here with. Yeah. Well, I think it's cool because that facility, sometimes when you look at higher ed in particular, they get entrenched in what they're, and they have what I kind of believe is the telegraph syndrome, meaning that at one point we communicated in the United States through a telegraph, or right, the little beep 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 thing, right? Well, we don't anymore, but things evolve, and sometimes learning institutions don't evolve with it. In this place, it's looking at industry that is hot and hiring and training and getting people out to the market as quickly as possible. Not to bash on a 4-year degree because we're all college graduates here, but it is that there's a lot of education that doesn't need to happen at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So that being able to be nimble, because industry is answering. Like I have a small responsibility on this board that's going to be there, and as I talk to industry, they're all excited about it. But they need somebody to kind of make it happen, right? We're kind of actually pinning it back on them a little bit. So
yeah, let me kind of just add on his we call it speaker request things. He fills out some information, and I thought this was good. The city of Idaho Falls strives to build a community with big city efficiencies and amenities while preserving small town charm and feel. And we were talking about those falls right there bring a lot of people here to this area. The city provides services ranging from public utilities to parks and recreation. We work with a variety of community partners to make Idaho Falls a great place to live and a great place to do business. And this workforce development is only going to enhance that here in this area.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And I feel like those partnerships are key in delivering kind of that small town community feel. We have to have those really close relationships with the companies that are really the anchors in our community and work with them on a regular basis to keep that feeling in our community.
So is there industry or businesses that you're being told, hey, we want to attract them to Idaho Falls? Is that ever part of the conversation?
As in kind of a certain industry that we would like maybe some new businesses to come and locate here?
Yeah.
We have talked about, I don't know that we have established a target right now, but we know that we want something that complements what we do have. So the energy industry is huge here because of the Idaho National Laboratory. The agriculture and food processing industry, that's also huge. So we definitely want to attract things that complement those, but we haven't identified really kind of like the sub-industries that we might want to focus on yet.
And I think it's an opportunity for the city to kind of say, this is who we want to be because this is who we already are, right? Because I do see at times cities fighting to get big business coming to their area and providing all sorts of tax breaks that when those tax breaks end, those industries have left at times. And there are cities that have done that are just running amok. And just from a guy that has a business in the area, you give, not saying that you do, but when cities are giving tax breaks to attract people, what about the guys that have been here, right? That's kind of my philosophy on it. It's like whatever tax breaks you're giving to them, that I want to see them.
Kind of like the student loan forgiveness that got.
Don't
Don't get started on those tangents. So
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. The one thing I was excited about when I heard and learned more about you is that you're originally from this area, so you have roots in this area. And talk about what your degree is that you got as well.
Yeah, so I grew up about 30 minutes north of here. It's a small town called Hamer. That's
People watching the show
tiny.
should know about Hamer. So
it's very small, but I grew up. One of the things I did, my dad farms over there, and so we farm potatoes and grain, and so I regularly delivered grain to Anheuser-Busch from my dad's farm.
Yeah.
And, just those kinds of things that I got already kind of familiar with the industries here in Idaho Falls. I had neighbors that worked for INL, and so I'm very familiar with the community.
Yeah.
And I think that gives me a kind of a huge connection to this position and a kind of more of a desire to be able to serve this community even better.
Well, and you talked about Anheuser-Busch and some of the things they're up to. You were just at their place today or this week, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you speak a little bit to that? Because I love businesses that are looking at really reducing their footprint.
Right. Yeah. So I was able to tour their facility. It's an amazing place. I'd encourage anybody who has that opportunity to go and see it. And one of their goals for the plant that's here is to make it net zero in terms of energy by 2030.
Yeah.
And that's really ambitious.
Huge, yeah.
And I think that they feel confident that they can reach that because of the partnerships that they have with Idaho Falls Power and with the Idaho National Laboratory and their initiatives in clean energy. So I'm really excited to see the kinds of things that they'll be doing in the next 10 years.
Yeah. I think that's great.
It's a great business, and to learn that they've come in here and they've made an economic impact in the Idaho Falls area, and it's great to see companies like that. We'd love to have a dozen more of those, right?
Yeah, and the workforce to supply them.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. And so go back to the question, and then you went to college and you got the degree. You went to the second best Utah college, the one a little farther south, but I believe in the one farther north. But it's all right. We still accept people from the south. So you got the degree, and what was your degree in?
My degree was in public administration, so it's an MPA, and that degree is kind of a general. It's kind of like an MBA, where MBA is a management of private businesses and corporations, and MPA is management of nonprofits, governments, and even some kind of mixes like healthcare that tend to be private/nonprofit. And so, yeah, it was a great program. I would encourage anybody who's interested to go and try it. Learned tons of stuff there that I use on a daily basis.
Very good. Well, farmer boy from Hamer, Idaho, out there, and he goes down and gets his MPA. I didn't know that degree. I thought it was an MBA.
Yeah, there you go.
But anybody that goes on and gets that extra degree, I pay kudos to. So great job. And and these are the kind of things when you came in and you could not only talk the talk, but you were walking the walk. And that's when I said, this guy's got it going on. I'm excited. Tell us about some of the things that are coming. That I don't know if you can say names, but you can talk about what you have in the mix. What can people look forward to coming here around Eastern Idaho in the coming year?
That is a good question. I know there's a lot of industrial manufacturing that would like to locate here. The kind of barrier is finding real estate for that. That's just a tough market right now, and so kind of unfortunate, but we're just not able to offer them the kind of facilities that they're wanting and maybe in the timeline that they want. Other than that, I know that there has been kind of an increased interest in just general retail and food. And part of that is maybe kind of associated with the Mountain America Center that is going up here, some kind of increased tourism that we expect to see in the area over the next years with the hockey team and everything. So really excited to see that.
Yeah. So then you yourself have a little bit of entrepreneurial go get them, because I'll just say sometimes people that take city jobs, they're just there to grind out.
Get
and
pension.
So I like to see someone that's in e-commerce having had a background of the grind of what it's like to own a business. But anyway, we talked a little bit about it, but I'm sure you've done more than just that one. But tell us a little bit about your food truck that you did while you were in college then? Is that when you were doing that?
So during my undergrad, me and a high school friend started a food truck that just I mean, sold French fries at kind of local farmers markets and
Yeah.
events and fairs and rodeos. And it was really, I mean, our whole reason behind it was, I mean, he was doing a kind of a business route at BYU Idaho. And so our reasoning was just, well, what better way to learn is there than to just go out and do it?
Yeah.
and it was a great learning experience.
And were you grabbing the spuds from Dad's farm then, or did you know you were taking his spuds, or?
Yeah, not quite.
That's not how it worked. Okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit easier to go through a kind of a supplier that delivered them to you clean and not with sand on them. So that
like-
just made
like
it a little
Dad
bit quicker. So, but yeah.
Yeah, people that don't know, potatoes coming out of the earth are a little dirty.
Little
right?
dirty.
The stuff you get in the store has been washed a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. So, do you still run the food truck then?
It's currently in hibernation.
Yeah.
You know, with the new job, and my business partner also just finished his master's. He got an MBA.
And a brand new baby.
Yeah.
Let me add. And it's still what, a month old?
Yeah, it's 6 weeks.
6 weeks
Wow.
old.
That'll keep you
Yeah.
busy.
So first baby, 6 weeks old. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give you the summer off this year, but we want you next year.
Yeah, we'd love to bring it back. So it'd be awesome.
So then, what do you have in terms of goals that you want to see accomplished? Hopefully, we keep you for a long time, but I think that's important for someone that comes in your position to say, I really want to impact the city of Idaho Falls and the surrounding areas. Kind of my vision of how I want to go do that. That's a tough question.
Yeah, that is a tough question. And I think my goal is to really just to help wherever I can.
Yeah.
Because there's already a lot of different entities, just like the Idaho Innovation Center, that are already focused in different areas of economic development. And so it's not necessarily going to just be me, I'm going to go out and make this big, huge thing happen, but just wherever I can help different entities or real estate agents or just whoever's working in economic development, especially in priority areas of the city, however I can help them, that's what I want to do.
Very, very good. Well, we're excited. There's some big things. I know we can't say names, a lot of the names, but I know that there's some big things that are happening in this area, and they've all got to be working, in conjunction with you in order to be, make it successful here in this area. Yeah. So, is there anything else that you want to tell us about, the economic development here in Eastern Idaho?
I think the main thing I'd say is just all the people that are kind of working to make things happen here are great. And it's great to get to know them and to get to work with them. And everyone in this area is passionate about what they do. They're very serious, and they all have really good customer service too, and they really care about customers, whether that's a big business client or a small business or just the taxpayers. Everybody really cares about the impact they have, and it's not an easy job.
Yeah.
Very controversial all the time, as government tends to be, but everyone does a great job.
Yeah. No, I think that's important for the public to know, is that from the mayor on down, these are real people, and they're just in there trying to do their best, and sometimes you take some heat while you do that. Get your thick skin.
Some of that heat comes from you.
Sometimes. I mean, I get it back. You give
it out. You give it. You're
I'm good with it on both ways. But at the end of the day, I appreciate that's the governor even, and the mayor and everybody in their position, because I don't want to do what they're doing. That, so I'm glad they do. So anyway.
Very good. Well, we appreciate you being here, Christian Ashcraft with the Economic Development in Idaho Falls. Every show we like to end with a quote that they have. We've got this quote. Talk to us about this quote that you have.
Yeah, so do better.
Yeah. Love that. I had an opportunity this morning to meet with a guy that kind of breaking out into kind of something, a new idea. And I told him the same type of thing. Imagination is everything. I said, just because there's not a lot of other people doing what you're doing doesn't mean. I said 5 years ago, I would have never thought that I would have been ordering something from, say, McDonald's and paying $3 to have it delivered to me. I would have just had to have gone down.
Yeah.
But now when I say $3 to have it delivered, heck yeah. So it's an idea kind of like that in a different industry, but it was just like, don't think that your idea is just because it's not being done by every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. It's just everyone's got to have that imagination to come up with it.
There we go.
So very good. Well, thank you, Christian Ashcraft, City of Idaho Falls Economic Development, for being here today. If you want to ask any questions, go to the City of Idaho Falls website, and you can ask questions, and they'll be forwarded right on to you. I know that when we were pulling your bio, that it was that you can contact and reach out to the mayor, to you, through the website. So I encourage you, if you do have any questions, to do that. So let's transition right into our training. And today we're going to be talking about why does a business need a business coach?
Boy, I think someone that knows how to get it done and all the list. I just look at it. This is why you need it right here. It's kind of sitting in front of us, right? So
yeah. So I put as number one, and this is one big one. I mean, I work with anywhere from 3 to 5 businesses a day in doing it. And some of us that have been entrepreneurs before, when you get in that entrepreneurship and you don't have anybody besides maybe your wife or your dog that's listening to you that you can set your goals with, that can hold you accountable to things. But in the people that I meet with, this accountability, to have someone that they can pass some ideas, but not only that, hold them accountable to producing and achieving those goals, is what the reason is to have a business coach. I'm so expensive in my business coaching that's why I meet with 3 to 7 people. Yeah. It's all free, so but
there was a time when you had that.
I did.
Model, right?
I did. I had a business coaching business, but with the Small Business Development Center, all of our coaching is free.
It's free. Yeah.
And so, but the accountability is that when I can hold, like I met with a guy this morning and said, here's the goal for the week. I want to know what you're doing to answer to that next week. We're going to see where you're at and where you're progressing. I've got his weekly goals, his quarterly goals, his annual goals, and every month we discuss those and he tells me thanks every week, because otherwise he'd just be out there floundering.
Just kind of not, I'll get to that or whatever. I mean, the accountability piece that you have to actually. That's how on mornings that I have a workout buddy, I am up ready to go. Mornings I don't, I probably hit the snooze.
Yeah. Anyway. Accountability, and that's the reason why I put it in all caps as well. And it's just if you need help with that, then find a business coach that will help you with that. It helps you. They'll set attainable goals. They'll give you organizational structure. Now, 15 years ago, I was growing a pretty big business, and I hired a business coach, and he came in and gave me structure. He gave me a business plan. I had to revisit my business plan after being in business. And had I not had that structure, there is no way that I could have sold that business for what I did 4 years after I met.
But it was kind of reverse engineered. There was a number you wanted. Well, this is how you get to it. And without that structure, you don't get there.
It is. And he helped me with another things, marketing strategies. And it's nice to have unbiased insight. That's a key one. We have a group that we meet with every month. It's a mastermind group. And when I'm on what's called the hot seat, there's not been a time that I've walked out of that meeting and said, wait a minute, I'm a business coach. I tell people what to do in business. And every time I walk out with that, and do you know what my one comment is? Why the heck did I think of that?
Yeah, yeah.
And so having a group or another person that can give you some feedback on some things is so important. Self-confidence, it gives you self-confidence, and I get that feedback from the people that I coach, that having that person there to hold you attainable to their goals, making sure that you're achieving them, gives you self-confidence. It gives you a fresh perspective, balance. And once again, capitalized at the bottom, growth. This is the biggest thing, that if you work with a business coach, and there's multiple ones out there that you can work with, but you will obtain growth in your business by having a business coach and having someone you hold that holds you accountable to performing in your business. So I'm sure that the mayor would agree with all of these that you work with. Would that be right?
Yeah, I think it's always good to have some mentorship and so just some help.
Yeah.
Me as starting my food truck, I think there's probably a lot of entrepreneurs that like can relate to this, but maybe some people have kind of a desire to just They want to do it all themselves. They want to do all the things. They want to work really hard and make it happen. But, you know, when you have these resources available, to just try for free, it's just why not?
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and we're going to give away a book. It's my favorite book as a business coach, called what?
I was thinking a coloring book.
No, but it's
All right.
the E-Myth.
E-Myth. Oh yeah, we like that.
You know.
I like coloring books.
Yes. So, so we're going to give away a book called the E-Myth. I think this is one of the key books in business that if you want to be a successful, growth-oriented type business, you've got to follow the principles in the E-Myth. So we're going to give away a copy of that book. If you can text me the tickets that I gave away last week. Who is the tickets for? You got to be a fan of our show. But if you can tell me what tickets we gave away last week to the state fair, that eliminates it down to 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
So, but if you can tell me, text me on the number on the screen who we gave away tickets for last week.
Get a great book.
You'll get a great book called the E-Myth, and I'll personally deliver it to you if it needed. So, anyway, great, absolute book there. We're gonna end the show today. We're gonna watch a video that talks about the SBDC and what they can do to help you if you need a business coach. And then we're gonna have the commercial that we talked about at the beginning of the show with BBSI that goes through and talks about some of the things that BBSI does. They're quick, 1.5, 2-minute videos. So we'll end the show. Now next week, we've got what I call a superstar coming on. She has a super business here in eastern Idaho called Eagle Rock Dance. We know Carrie McCarty.
Yep.
She is a go-getter in the business. I know that she called Tyson and had Tyson do a video for her. And absolutely, this lady, her business is grown. And it's been so amazing to watch her business grow over the last 4 years. We're going to talk all about that growth and where she's at and where she plans on going with her business here. She's got some great stories and some great examples to be what it takes to be successful in business. So excited to have Carrie McCarty on next week.
Yeah, great.
Watch this SBDC video and the BBSI. End us with a thumbs up. We got to end every show with a thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
The Small Business Development Center is a statewide network made up of professional consultants in 6 locations throughout the state. Companies come to us with a felt need, and our goal is to help them reach their core need. Once we determine that, that's when we start to see companies prosper.
The SBDC helped us start, hands down. Having the tech center, having the resources from the SBDC helped us start our business, and we couldn't have done it without them.
The consultants of the Small Business Development Center are professional executives, CEOs, entrepreneurs themselves that really can relate to each of the small businesses to help them achieve their goals.
They got to know our business, inside and out. We told them everything about how our business works.
I feel like the interest that he showed too gave them a little bit more of an idea of where we needed help in.
The resources being tapped into my executive team, who themselves tap into SBDC almost weekly to gain information and knowledge base that becomes very instrumental in us making the right decisions.
We measure success by the success of our businesses. We really are industry and professional agnostic. So our goal is that if we can help those companies grow and thrive and expand, then that's success to us.